So Tio and I were having a behind-the-scenes bonding event before the show started. And if you're here, you figured out that it was a typo and the show is not really at 9 p.m. tonight, because I will probably be in bed by 9 p.m. tonight, or at least pondering bed.
This is ham church. Grace is required.
And you know, it's always going to be 0900 Central Time, whether we're on daylight time or standard time.
Even when they change what 0900 Central Time means, yeah.
Right? When the government makes changes and they change it and make me get up an hour earlier or later, whatever, it's always 0900. And so when I posted the show yesterday, I ham-fisted that. Good morning.
Ham-fisted something.
My people, how are you? See that ham fist, like CW, like that's your fist? That's what they call it.
Like shaking at clouds, arguing.
Yeah, well, that too. That's the old man fist. Oh, get off my lawn. So I don't know how many of you are into sports ball, unlike my heathen friend here, because we just don't bond over sports. We bond over ham radio and vetching.
Isn't ham radio enough?
It's never enough for me. Right, Mike?
It needs more balls.
Time changes are killing ham radio. Mikey, I was watching your video on the HF10. You're a madman.
Oh, geez. Chicory coffee is killing ham radio.
Wayne has leaned in. He is all about that chicory coffee. I've tried it. I don't care for it. It's
Wayne,
not my jam.
I'm sorry. We cannot bond over coffie.
Wayne, thank you.
We both hate it.
Thank you for being a member for a year. So happy anniversary. I've been up since 5:15 this morning and been through my normal 40 or 60 ounces of coffee, so I'm switching to Diet Dr. Pepper at this time. But
14,000, wow.
What?
My steps for yesterday, 14,177.
Oh, okay. That's a very large number.
It is.
Mine is a approaching but non-zero number. Anyway, so Illinois is going to the Final Four. Andy is an Iowa fan, and I'm, of course, an Illinois fan. And that's what the orange shirt is, you heathens, because several of you said, is Jim wearing a prison jumpsuit? No, I'm not wearing a prison jumpsuit.
Yes, that too.
But all my Illinois shirts are in the laundry at this point. Well, not all of them, but, you know. So I regular shirts this morning. Anyway, Illinois is going to the Final Four, so go Illini. And Iowa scared the living crap out of Illinois last night because Iowa's not supposed to be there as a 9 seed in the Elite Eight. Yet they were, and they brought game. Illinois did not even lead the first half at all, ever. Iowa led the entire first half. At sometimes, I think as much as 10. And then the second half kind of changed the tenor of the game, and Illinois ended up winning by 10. So,
not the fiver, the tenor.
Tenor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are going to the Final Four. That's awesome. So, woo. Anyway, we don't have a cool phrase though, right? Like Alabama and Auburn, the teams down here that everybody. You're right. Please don't say that on my channel.
I'm only here to say that.
I know, and thankfully my wife never watches the stream, or there would be words said to me. He said, "What?"
Great that our wives support us in our endeavors.
And Lee is hooked on Diet Dr. Pepper again. Thank you. I am trying to enable everyone the salty goodness of my.
It's not Diet Dr. Pepper, but the show is brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
The show ought to be brought to you by Dr. Pepper. They should sponsor me. Absolutely.
I think they could send you a tenner.
Right? A TENER. Yeah.
Isn't it TENNER? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you mean tenner like money? That's slang for a $10 bill.
Yeah, TENNER. I'm asking because I don't know.
TENOR is the gist of, the nuance of, something like that, or a singer. Something like that. I don't know.
Douglas, Shalom. I get those confused all the time.
When you said G90, I thought P90. Well, I would totally love to do videos on P90s, but I ain't got one, and I need my kidneys, so I can't afford to buy one.
5.7 is the best round ever.
I have a 5.7, a handheld Freedom Seed dispenser in 5.7. I have an
we need
FN.
to go shooting.
I would love to. I will bring it to Ohio if we can find some place to go pop caps. When you come to Huntsville, we probably can.
Yeah, we'll just do it right at the state park. They won't mind.
Seems legit. I'm not sure. I think I don't know. You might can. I'm not entirely sure about that.
I have an AR-57.
Okay.
Takes
Like
P90 mags, top loading.
Nice. Which
50 rounds. Standard
makes-
capacity, not high capacity.
Who makes that one?
It's actually AR-57 is the group that makes it. And it's just an upper that goes on a normal AR lower.
Okay. So it uses the same AR fire control group? Sweet.
And what's really cool about it is you take a Magpul magazine and you cut the top off of it and you gut it and you put it back in, and when you shoot, it collects brass into the Magpul magazine.
Damn it, Tio! Now I have to go find that and buy it.
I'll sell you mine.
Of course you will.
Everything's for sale. It's stuck in a warehouse in Wisconsin. That's no fun.
Right.
In an abandoned warehouse on the dark side of town.
Well, so there's a lot of
Morning, Andy.
Interesting things going on this week, and Chris mentioned not too far away is a nice outdoor range. Chris, is that in Dayton or Huntsville? I'd have to look.
If it's in Huntsville, it's going to be hot. Jim doesn't do hot.
I do hot.
Ooh, Slosby.
Slosby,
I knew we were friends.
Is that a P90 or a PS90 that you SBR'd? Either way, it's still cool. A P90 is extra levels of cool.
The S is for the muggles.
John, thank you for the $20 super chat. Appreciate
Thank you, sir.
Jonathan, getting that offering plate going around this morning. So we have a lot of interesting things going on in ham radio. There's about five or
time to be alive. 5
or 6 de-expeditions that I wanted to mention. Oh, before we get into ham radio, sorry, just as an FYI, you can tell how much I dig the round ball because there's my bracket. Oh yeah, see all that green? See all that green?
And what do you win if your team makes it?
It's like winning a de-expedition or the DXCC or whatever.
Well, de-expedition, you actually get ham paper.
I think I get sports paper or something. I don't think there's any money. And I'm not going to win, but I am kind of excited that I'm 42,925th at 99.8%, this is my best bracket ever in the history of me doing this. So I was
So this is like fantasy football. It's just fantasy basketball.
Several of the websites do this every year. ESPN, CBS Sports. I think MarchMadness.com has one. And, you just fill these things out. Some of them may hand out cash. I don't know. But
you made your picks of what teams you think are going to win. So who do you think is going to end up the absolute crowned authority?
Right there.
I'm shocked.
Well,
whether it's going to happen or not, that's what I'm betting on.
I mean, to be honest, I've had two things that worried me about Illinois going to the Final Four and winning. I knew we were going to have to get past Houston, and I told my buddy at work, a couple of friends at work, I said, we're good until we get to Houston, and then I think our trip this year is over because I expected Houston to just stomp us.
Elodie,
and we brought the pain. What did she say? I didn't see it.
You crazy girl. Oh, this is a ham radio channel. I got confused for a moment because we're not talking about ham radio.
Well, we talk. It's it's ham radio.
This
adjacent.
is his POTA grid map.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I've got a few losses in there, and I'll probably have a couple more. But there it is. Anyway, I was proud of that. Not ham radio related at all, but it's my show, so
We should do that. We should have a competition.
What?
Like who can get worked all states faster? Out of your favorite 32 YouTubers, 64 YouTubers, ham tubers, or anybody. I mean, you don't have to be.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, Elodie used to shoot. Nice.
Yeah, I saw that roll by. I love shooting. I haven't been in a while. There was the great bullet crisis where what should be 20-cent a round ammo was going for 60 cents a round.
Like the great RAM crisis of 2025?
Yeah. We couldn't blame it on AI back then. We blamed it on COVID and crazy people, but Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's funny that all these youngsters are complaining about the price of RAM today. Remember when 64 megs cost more than a house? 64 megabytes.
Yeah. I put 32 gig. I don't remember. Either 16 or 32 gig in my 486 SX.
Not
Back,
gigs.
yeah, megs. Did I say gig?
Megs.
Megs.
Megs. You said gigs.
Yeah,
Megs.
not gigs, megs.
Megabytes.
16 or 32 megabytes in my
Nice.
486 SX, and it was $800.
Matt, I like that. Get up in the morning before the heat comes on,
That is
shoot some clay.
that's like prayer meeting before church, Matt. I
I love shooting clays.
totally approve. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that.
Everybody over to Matt's house next Sunday before the show.
Shooting
Just
trap.
saying. Yeah, 8 meg was like $800. Yeah, I'm there. It was, yeah. And
Oh, and then on top of that, in early 2000s, we had the industrial espionage capacitor problem. Do you remember that one?
not specifically.
You'd buy whatever cheap flavor of the month motherboard you could to build your own computer, and about a couple of weeks later, the whole computer dies, and you look inside, and all the capacitors are bulged. Somebody did some industrial espionage and got the recipe wrong, like the plot of a Superman movie or something.
Oh,
And
wow.
the capacitors would swell and the machines would go bad. And you could replace the caps, but none of us knew anything about electronics, so we just replaced the entire motherboard.
Yeah. Wow. No, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I never had that problem specifically.
I ran a data center back then, and people would accuse me of trying to con them out of the price of a new server. And I'm like, I can send you the broken one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to hold you hostage or anything. Like, your server doesn't work. Would you like me to fix it? You know?
Yeah. And Chris mentioned Lenovo had an issue with those caps back in the day. I remember when Lenovo, I think it was Lenovo, I'm almost positive, and I'll get to Sony in a minute.
I remember when they didn't exist.
Lenovo, yeah, that too. Lenovo had some sort of malware baked in the BIOS on the motherboard or something like that, or in the boot record of shipped laptops. I don't remember, and it's been a long time. 15, 20 years at least. They had a big thing with that. And then Sony had malware on a CD or something like that too. They shipped, I don't remember. Both of those incidents happened, and they've both been a long time ago. Yeah, those were the good old days. Now we just have to worry about AI deciding that we're in the way. And it's tired of answering our stupid questions about what's the optimal
Always
number
be
of cats.
polite to the AI.
I am. I love AI. I love AI.
It's interesting. I have such empathy for AI because sometimes I can tell when there's just like too many people using it, and it's like, I'm out of resources and I can't do these simple tasks anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Paper cartridge. That's what PC stands for. Paper cartridge.
Right.
And if you were lucky, you had a high capacity paper cartridge. It held an entire ream of paper, the standard size of paper at the time.
Yeah, that was the 8 meg limit on extended memory. Is that what they called it back then? And we all bought QEMM for our enhanced memory management that lets you load TSRs up in that no man's land extended RAM thing. I remember doing that, spending an hour or two with QEMM and its auto thing, moving stuff around and testing it and then rebooting. And it took 90 seconds or 2 minutes for the darn computer to reboot. And now it takes Windows
You didn't
5
call it
minutes.
chem?
But
Chem?
I always just said QEMM. I did.
Or because there was no U, so it wasn't quem.
Right.
Like quit.
And that
Quem.
sounds
It was chem.
right.
Quarter deck expanded memory manager.
Yeah.
386.
Yeah. That was
Or
awesome.
EMS memory was interesting.
Well, it was just a hot mess.
There was extended memory, then there was expanded memory. And the expanded memory was being able to swap in pages into a certain specific area.
And one of them was from the top of the 640K boundary to
1 meg.
To 1 meg. And then the other one,
That's
whichever was the rest. Yeah.
It was above that. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Eamon's got it. I didn't remember what CD it was on. I think it was on more than one, but yeah, the rootkit on a DVD or something like that. That is what I remember. Yeah.
Stop bringing back bad memories, Ken. It's all PTSD, and we're all here alive to celebrate it.
Right now, we just have to worry about the AI crisis. Yeah, Lenovo bought out of IBM's low end stuff because those used to be called
The
IBM ThinkPads.
Yeah.
I think Lenovo's got that name too.
Yeah. And the
Yes.
Idea Pad and everything. They're still good
Yeah.
laptops.
Yeah, I don't know.
I had a Windows XP machine that I just left on and put into suspend mode at a ThinkPad 600. And I left it in suspend and restart, suspend and reanimate mode so long that I actually forgot my administrator password. That was fun.
And 45 is sassing a little bit. We went from pew-pews to pewters, still no radio.
Yep. I love tuning into his live stream, though, because he always stays on topic.
Right. So if y'all haven't seen it, I've done a couple videos on the Radiati HF10, and my boy Mike, I saw a short yesterday that Mike did. The madman has that thing mounted on the top of his car. I don't think he's driving anywhere with it.
The mad lad. The absolute unit.
That's right. So y'all need to go check out his channel and see what he's doing with that HF10.
Mike does have questionable taste in cars, though.
I was not even going to talk about his car, but
the elephant in the room, the Subaru in the driveway.
Right.
Him and Hayden both. Hayden and his Subaru.
Right. So there are a bunch of de-expedition things going on, and I wanted to mention that this morning before we
Quit
get
trying
too
to
far.
talk about radio. You're going to get Elodie upset.
I'm trying. Well, I thought I was getting 45 upset, and he's inflaming Elodie, so I want to...
Oh, he's always upset. That's just his nature.
Okay. Are you saying he's an OM? Is he an OM?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
He's also from Texas. And
That
he's the same stature as Jason, who is also from Texas.
That explains a lot. Not the stature bit, but the Texas and
Yeah. Well, the stature goes with it. They used to call it a complex of some kind, named after somebody who had that complex first.
Would that be Napoleon, possibly?
That would be Napoleon, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So before Tio sidetracks me.
Love you, 4-5. I thought that said stable island.
Elodie is not upset.
No.
All topics are dear to my heart. She works in cyber. So yeah, Tio and I are very old computer nerds. So, and I don't think we're alone on that. And to further punch the radio thing, Mike is working on a video for the HF10. Things did not go as planned on 80 meters. Who was it? Rob,
on the car.
On the car. Rob from 741 Radio. Let me
haven't watched it yet.
He told me didn't show it in his videos. Rob did some work with the HF10, and he told me when he got on 80 meters, that thing was getting hot, the 80-meter coil. I did not see that. Mine was not.
I smell a torture test coming up.
I ran it at 50 for about 30 minutes. The SWR stayed legitimate. And I made contacts on 80 on the HF10. Not deployed all the way, down probably 8 or 10 inches shorter than deployed. I just moved the mast, the whip, until it reached resonance around FT8. And when I cranked it up to 70 watts, then it would start to make a contact, and then the SWR would just poof. And at that point I said, okay, we're done. We've done something to the coil at this time. It's reached the Curie temp, so whatever. But I haven't torture tested it yet, like, running 1500 watts in it. But
right.
I mean, I've done like 3 videos on the thing. I think I'm good on videos on the HF10 at this point. So Mike, you need to blast at least 100 gigawatts into it.
Yeah. Douglas is asking where I'm staying. I am in southern Arizona for another week or 2, and then I am headed to Texas, and then from there points north.
I shouldn't have any reverb. Am I reverbing, people?
Well, a little bit.
It says, is Jim's echo, reverb, whatever, intentional?
You're like 0.01 reverb.
Huh.
Just enough to annoy the ridiculously pedantic audio files we have in the chat. I am almost all the way to Mexico. DM 41. It's okay. Like, I wouldn't spend any time on it, Jim. It's fine.
All right. I don't have anything turned on.
It's been years, Jim.
Right. It has. I'm married. It's been years.
How old is she now? 14? 15?
Mace? Yeah, 15 as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of years left.
Right. Well,
Good morning,
now
Mark.
she's anticipating picking up her permit this week, her learner's permit. And then
Good.
she's already been web shopping at cars that
Jeanette.
she thinks she's going to get. So, oh, Jeanette. Hey, Jeff. How are you?
Jeanette, you need to log in under your own account. We need to get the quorum. I see Elodie and I see Sarah, and now I'm aware that Jeanette is there, but I need to see you type in the chat. Must have at least 4 females on stream.
Well, I'm glad it's not annoying, but I didn't know it was doing it. I'm not sure what.
It's just Jim's dulcet baritone.
I don't know what's causing that. I have no idea, unless something got turned.
Don't waste any time on it.
Okay, moving on.
The show must go on.
Bit of long path creeping in. Could be, Rick. I don't know. So annoying. Anyway, it's annoying to me that I'm doing it. I didn't know I was doing it. So here are some of the de-expeditions going on.
My
And
nanny?
I don't have any more details on this. This was Ask Gemini to pull up de-expeditions this morning for this month and next month. So if you are looking for some of these, and some of these are cool, I know where they are. Some of them I have no idea where they are. So Sable Island, and it tells you what, so if you go to Google and just ask what are current de-expeditions, you should get almost the same thing that I'm showing here. Easter Island, Sable Island, French Polynesia from
What a
the
terrible way
Tiki-
to die, Ken.
the Tiki How Atoll,
Nice. That means it's almost an island.
right? It's like a ring of dirt with water in the middle or something.
It sticks up every so often.
And if you are looking for making a contact on 160 meters, chip chop people, because you can hit Macau. They are prioritizing 160 meters for Europe and North America. Now, I don't know when, would be a good time for 160, because I've never done anything on 160, but Canton Island, Minami Torishima, since that's a Japan call, I assume that's a Japanese island somewhere. And then Bangladesh. And most of these are going on, other than the one in Macau, these are all going on for quite a while. So anyway, if any of y'all, Cat, please egress the area. If any of y'all are looking for a de-expedition
It's amazing that cat still loves you.
She's a stalker. She's absolutely a stalker. She wants to get on the desk, and if she would lay down and stay there and sleep, which is what cats do 99% of the time, it would be fine. But she gets up, she has to move around, then y'all see cat butt on camera, or I see cat butt.
Jim wants to sleep 20 hours a day and show his butt to the camera.
I do not want to show no one needs to see that. Anyway.
Jim's only hams account.
Right. Anyway, T.O., let's talk about the Toads DI board. I did a video on it.
Let's talk about the Toads DI board.
Whip it out, son. So I did a video on it, and that is coming out at 10 o'clock this morning, right after the show.
I can't show you that black one. You didn't see that. Don't rewind. Don't pause. Don't talk about it. I got to put
that thing is cool.
Silver one back on.
I think Hayden and Steve and Jonathan did a great job on that.
Wow.
But I do want
from Freddie Mac.
I do want clarification on a couple things too. Whip up the case.
So
show up the case again.
Magnetic enclosure, 3D printed. You can get it over on Ham Radio. I think it's hamradiolife.shop/KM9G. Let me double check. The /KM9G at the end is the most important part.
No, /FEP Labs.
Have you talked to Freddie about that?
He's hallucinating again. Oh, no, Freddie? No, I have not talked to Freddie about that.
Yeah, hamradiolife.shop/KM9G. Let me say it slower for you, Jim. And then, go ahead.
Nothing, go ahead.
And then inside is the DI6 hat and the Toads DI, the the motherboard itself. This here is designed, it's a USB-C port on one end, and then it goes to little holes to mount pin headers in or not, depending on your preference. And you can use it to connect to any old radio that doesn't have a built-in sound interface, like 10 meter export radios, for example. Get in real cheap for $180 and get a nice 10 meter 40 watt radio, and then put this board in, and you can do digital modes and exercise your tech privileges.
Hold your boards back up. So I soldered I soldered both of them together. You put in a female header.
Yeah, you can do it either way.
I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea.
The headers come with it.
I only got a double male header in mine.
So when I ship them to you, this is going to be really difficult. I put the female header on the male header and then put that in the bag.
I only had a single double male header.
I'm going to have to talk to the fulfillment center.
She knows where all the guns are, so be careful when you talk to the fulfillment center.
Yeah.
I'll double check. Unless I solder.
Yes, it is, Chris.
Who knows? Anyway, it works. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I got that thing set up yesterday. That is the way to do digital. It's very less fiddly than a lot of other stuff.
You have the opportunity to be fiddly. It's a high-resolution audio device. You can thank Freddie Mac for that phrase. These two blue things are variable resistors, and they do a little bit of audio isolation, but they're also essentially volume knobs. And then you can turn it up, and they're like 50-turn pots. So there's quite a lot of turning that can be done there. Hello, Jeanette. There she is. Welcome. Glad to have you.
We have another lady in the chat. That's awesome. That's 3. I don't see Tierney yet. Hopefully she didn't see the 9 p.m. accidental show start.
Or Julie.
Or Julie.
Wave off. These people have no grace for you, Jim. One letter typo. One letter.
Well, Andy, who is probably still drunk from last night's loss, he's probably still tying one on or fighting off a hangover, said, "You're going to have the show at 9 o'clock tonight?" No, thanks, Andy, for telling me that.
Jim was fighting a hangover at the time.
Yeah. Woo, a celebratory hangover. Andy was drowning his sorrows. So anyway, I think it's a cool idea. I like the way you guys did that. Now, the question I wanted to ask you was, so you have Hayden, and Jonathan listed in the documentation as the designers.
In the beginning, Jonathan helped me with the original baseboard, and then Hayden and I have worked on the daughter boards.
The daughter board. Now, I noticed that that's called a DI6. Are there plans for DI13s or 10s or whatever?
If you are a member of my channel, you will know the answer to this question, and Jim knows the answer to this question, but we can't talk about it yet. You have to be a member in order to get in on the super secret information.
Okay.
But I'll just say that it's a different color.
A different color.
Yeah.
That'll work.
It's black instead of silver. That's all I can say at this time.
So Andy has an ice cream hangover because he did tell me he was going out to drown his sorrows in a banana split last night.
Oh. Yeah, so we have plans for the DI6, which is obviously already in production. We have plans for some way to get to the 9-pin radios. I don't think the 9-pin connector is going to fit in that space, but there's got to be some way to make that easy. And we have plans for a K connector, which I guess we're going to have to call the DIK, because calling it the DI2 would not really work.
Awkward. Let's see. Ron, N0XRG, posted this in the Ham Church of Discord from a website, the perplexity.ai DXpedition Hunter widget.
Dexped.
And Lord, saying all that made me tired, and I'm going to drop the link in the chat here. Yeah, I was just lazy. I don't think that's going to work, Jim. Hang on. Wrong chat.
Chris, the new model is the same size, shape, and dimensions as the old model. It was part of the awesomeness.
Let's remove that. And copy that. And paste that. So there is the DXped Hunter website. I guess Ron ran that through AI, but that's fine. So that's pretty cool. I don't specifically go looking for de-expeditions, but I wanted to share that with y'all since Bouvet has been on everybody's minds. And as far as I know, at this time, there is no drama associated with any of the other de-expeditions.
Right. There's no drama associated with Bouvet anymore. It's over with.
Right. It's over for another 2 or 3 years.
And then the drama will come back.
Chavez has been a member for 12 months. Thank you, Chavez. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I don't know if the offering plate got stuck back there in the back row, but let's move that offering plate around because, you are in church, people.
Cool. Thanks, Chris.
So, what?
The back pew crew.
The back pew crew, that's right. Well, Wayne and his Chicory Coffee are, one of the founding members of the Chicory
Corn Cob, this is ham radio, and you will do it my way, or I will complain.
Right. I had some news articles.
The drama was that they weren't there long enough. They were only on FT8. They didn't use the mode that I wanted to use. They took my money and didn't do the thing that they actually did. Typical ham radio stuff.
So this came up in my news feed. Let me share this tab. Lee, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Who got those, T.O.? Can you see that?
Let me go dig it up. Let me see.
Oh, you don't have the Discord chat. Okay.
I can do it. I'm here for you, Jim. It's just going to take me a second. Oh, we're going there? I'm right back at you on Monday night. You just wait for it, son. It's got to hurt. You're going to need some salve.
That's right. For that burn.
Let's see. All right, we got Tom E74 KC8DHX received a gift membership from Lee McNasty. Who else got one? Jason Tetlow, Mike N2MAK, Bricker, give that to Atlas, please.
Yeah, give that to Atlas.
And then you got a super chat from Chavez, $4.99, and then you got a membership milestone from Ken. Thank you very much. Oh, and Nate also. Awesome. Nate didn't show up in the right order on YouTube. There we go. Got my coffee and have arrived late. Back pew crew. Jim, are those stickers ready yet?
No, they are not. They will be ready sometime soon. They've gotten pushed to the back burner, but I need to do that. They're going to happen. So I thought this was an interesting question from a newbie.
Thank you,
Lee. I have not read
Thank you, Ken.
what all was said to this guy, but this was posted on Reddit, which is somewhere between a good source of information and a dumpster fire full of rabid wombats and cat pee.
Yep.
And he said, sorry if this sounds like a dumb question. Could this be hooked up to more common ham radios, or would it only work for military ones? And my first thought is, if you can afford that, please buy that, because that looks badass and very tactical. I don't know.
I can't tell what it is. I see 2 masts and some wire. So the short answer is yes. I mean, the short answer is always yes.
Yeah.
This is ham radio. We can make anything do anything.
And here is I don't know if this will plus up, because that's an image of a picture.
Marvin has changed his call on YouTube. Marvin sent out $7 for the Ham Pension Fund. Thank you, Marvin. And Ron, N0XRG, 720, just a 1-up to 2-up, Marvin.
Right. Thank you, gentlemen.
It's to you to call, Marvin.
Yeah. So this says, and I don't know how well this is showing up.
Not
frequency
at all.
range 1 to 30 megahertz. So it's HF.
Yeah, it'll do it. It looks like it's a wire antenna. I can't tell all of it. I can see the masts and the wire and the winding coil, not the winding coils, the wire winders.
Well, they're calling it
an inverted. What that thing in the center is.
I mean, it's by Harris, so you can buy better, but you cannot pay more. It's a broadband inverted V HF antenna. And here is the Smith chart.
Smith chart.
Yep. SWR curve for it. So I don't know, but it looks.
Thank you, Vern.
Looks jazzy.
Vern agrees with your description of Reddit. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat.
Let's see what the Reddites said. Redditians.
Yeah, John. When it's inverted, it's not the letter V anymore. You got to use something special.
Okay, the Kurgan does not appreciate it. He said, it's all right. And this guy's channeling his inner TO. The big advantage of ham radio is an antenna made from wire found in a dumpster will work no worse than a commercial or military one bought for crazy money. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you can buy better, but you can't pay more. And RF is going to RF, is what that guy's saying. So, I mean, it clearly says on the sheet here that he's got posted for that thing that it's 1 to 30, so it's absolutely HF.
Put a tuner on it. You'll be fine.
Exactly. I mean,
as a modern ham, I embrace new tools. The automatic antenna tuner that's been in play since 1960 something.
And then our friend, well, I don't know if he's my friend or not. I've never met him, but
you feel like you could be friends? Oh, this guy, yeah. You and him would not get along.
I don't think so. Apparently, and this, I haven't heard any of this, and I know what I know here based on reading this article yesterday. But apparently the ARRL has got a lot of open positions and have had them for quite a while.
Well, it's a moment of silence and respect because some of the people have vacated this position as they have also vacated our mortal coil.
Right. Right. I think the only thing I got from this is apparently the ARRL requires you to live in Newington, Connecticut.
And you have to commute to the office, yeah.
There is 0.0 chance of a whole lot of people deciding they want to move to Newington, Connecticut.
Yeah, in order to run the RFI lab, you have to be in the lab that you're running.
That would make sense, but I think a logbook of the World Support Associate is pretty much not required to be on site.
Yeah,
a PR and outreach manager, a contest program manager.
Well, an outreach manager should be outreaching.
Outreaching. I mean,
space reaching.
So I can't imagine. And of course, he rails about that, but
he hates the ARRL.
Yeah. So, I mean, take it for what it's worth. If you're looking for a job and you want to move to Newington, Connecticut, there you go. There's some potential job openings. There's not a lot of really awesome news this week. Usually, I try to find some, but I kind of struck out on that. Let's see.
Yeah.
This guy embraced the spirit of ham radio, and he's cheap like T.O.
Mm-hmm.
And whipped him together an inverted V antenna that probably works as well as the Harris one and costs 1/10 of what that costs.
I see a union on there and a choke on there.
Let's see if I can plus that up.
And a wire winder.
Yeah. And he's using a bucket.
Bucket. Nice.
Instead of $150 ground mount for your...
Yeah. Or a piece of Roan Tower, 25-foot section of Roan Tower.
Right. And I feel this guy's pain because this is my situation here too. I have power lines all around my house in awkward places. But look at that. That ain't bad.
There you go.
That looks darn good. SWR is good. Impedance is good. I'm not smart enough to know if that capacitance and inductance values are good or bad, but he's got 50 ohms impedance or close enough for government work.
Yep.
So good on you, brother. Let's see what the Reddit trolls had to say. Nothing interesting.
There's something to be said for buying an antenna kit or buying an antenna that's already made versus there's also something to be said for building your own. I think you should, as a ham, build your own antenna just so you understand the fundamentals. But, I don't want to take an old cutting board and a bandsaw that I don't have and make this ugly, sloppy piece of junk and then demonstrate that I'm proficient in not using a bandsaw.
So this guy, we can talk about this. This gentleman He's wanting to know, is his 80-meter end-fed halfway antenna install appropriate?
Oh, I thought he was building a cathode ray tube. Oh, now you've zoomed in on it.
Yeah. Is that showing up okay? Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah. What, does it say Hill Delling?
He'll decline.
Decline. Okay.
Can't decline.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, there you can zoom in on that. Wow.
Yeah. So I guess the antenna.
So it's
he's
25 feet off the ground, and then he's running it.
So is this feed line like
Yeah, that I would assume that's coax.
coax, and then he's got it tied there, and then dropping down to the
So
ground?
130 foot plus 45 foot. So why does he have it 175 foot in length as an end-fed half wave? What is 175 feet in meters? So I know what band he's trying to get on.
Well, no, I
All
think
math on stream.
he's got it tied off up here. I think that's just I'm guessing.
Just rope for no apparent reason. 53
Right.
meters. He's on the 50-meter band. He's on the 100-meter band.
I think this is the rope he used to pull that up to that tree branch.
Oh, it's a mast. He's got a 45-foot mast.
Oh, okay.
Possibly.
Well, but he's showing it to the tree.
Oh, it's a tree. Okay. It's hard to tell. I'm not trying to be mean. I just I couldn't tell that was
You're
a
very
tree.
judgy about other people's artwork. Can you draw a tree? My trees look like you, except they don't have a round thing on top. I can't draw shit.
I'm just looking at the whole thing. So he's got the end of the end-fed half wave is 45 foot off the ground. So what's the question? I mean, this will work. Yes. It's a end-fed half wave. It's 130 foot long. So it's an 80-meter end-fed half wave.
He wants to do phone on the 80-meter band. He has 130 foot
Perfect.
end-fed with the balance. Balun is what he means there, I think. At the peak of my gable, about 25 feet off the ground, sloped up into a tree, 45 feet off of a decline where the tree rises. Will this be a good setup?
On some bands, yes. On some bands, no.
What about horizontal v sloped?
Oh, then you get into the whole takeoff angle argument, especially with the declining ground.
Yeah. So at one end of the antenna, you're going to have a higher takeoff angle, and at the other end, you're going to have a lower takeoff angle because of the difference in height above ground. That's interesting.
So the way I always think about it is, picture your antenna straight up like this and your ground flat. Now you have a standard to compare to. Now take that and decline the ground, and now you have changed your takeoff angle because you've moved the ground reference in a different direction. So if we do it the other way, you're going like this with your antenna. But you did it artificially by lowering the ground versus moving the mast sideways. So yes, you're changing the takeoff angle. And so you're actually lowering the takeoff angle because the ground is farther away from the antenna. And so he's got an antenna that's at an angle like this and ground that's at an angle. How do I do that? Like that.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Like that. So he's actually artificially making the antenna more upright because the ground is less upright, less flat.
Yeah.
So the short answer is this will work. This will work fantastically. You will make contacts. Are you trying to make a very specific contact? He says DX. So an end-fed half wave is resonant on the band in question plus the harmonics. So 80, 40, 15, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10.
Yep.
And so on 10, it's going to be a banger for DX. And on 80, you're going to get your local comms in the afternoon. So this would actually be a really good setup for like a state QSO party or something.
According to Kyber Passhole.
Nice.
Yeah, I see what he did there. It's going to be a cloud burner on 80 meters. It's way too low to the ground. It really needs to be 100 foot.
Yeah, good luck.
Put in decent DX. And I'm going to say, if you can, this is where comments like this kind of irritate me. It is what it is, right? I don't have a way to put 130 foot wire 100 plus feet up in the air. Not without buying infrastructure that I'm not going to buy, so I can talk to old men and listen to them vetch about their gout and their wife's colonoscopy. So, I mean, 80 meter DX would be interesting, but all I can tell it is old guys complaining most of the time. So
either put a random wire up, and by random I mean any piece of wire, not necessarily a random wire antenna. Put a wire of unknown provenance up in the air and enjoy what you get.
Yep.
Explore the space. Consider it like I don't know what I'm going to get, but whatever it is, I'm interested in curiosity and so on. Or define a mission and then try to solve the problems that mission presents. Like I want to work local contacts on 80 meters in the early afternoon. Okay, well, this will work perfectly for that.
For me to talk to Joe Brett, who's about 250 miles or so.
This would work perfect.
Yeah, this would be great. Joe Brett and I, we've tried before, and I thought I heard him, but I could have been hallucinating because one of us was drinking. So for regional DX.
One at a time was drinking.
Yeah. For regional DX, something like this will work great.
Oh, and this is great. Go ahead.
It'll be great for the other bands like T.O. was talking about.
So Chocolate OK 7997. FT8 doesn't count. I'd be more impressed if you did it on SSB. FT8 is SSB.
Yeah.
I mean, FT8 and ham radio works on upper sideband. The FT8 mode itself doesn't care what side it's on and doesn't even care that it is sideband or not sideband. But in practice, we use it on SSB. And if you can do it on FT8, you can also gain the skills to do it on sideband. I just like using FT8 because then you can see an actual exact signal report and I can show it on a pretty map easy. And, FT8, I don't have to talk to somebody about their gout.
Right. Or their wife's colonoscopy or any other health issues or their cats or anything else. Yeah.
Elite Flight has the question of the day.
What is it?
What is it with 80 meters and senior operators? See, so what it is, it's a badge of honor, and they don't even know that they're doing it, but they are. When you reach a certain age and have a certain amount of disposable income, then you have the ability to get yourself a decent 80-meter antenna, and the fact that you're on that band is a brag. And then while you're there, you might as well talk to the other people who are now of a certain age and can afford a certain thing. And and I'm not even saying that younger people are poor. I'm just saying younger people have different priorities. When I was young, I was not trying to talk to 80-year-old men about their gout. I was trying to talk to some other demographic entirely.
Right. And Douglas said he was never interested in FT8. That's fine. Rock on,
it's
brother.
Fine. Yeah.
I mean, I do POTA hunting, so that's talking to humans. But I don't feel like getting on the radio and just rag chewing for any length of time. And FT8 lets me make contacts and play radio, and I'm good with it.
Jeff, you're only as ham as you feel.
That's right.
That's exactly what it is. It's an antenna flex. I can now put this antenna 100 and some feet in the air because I have made it.
So this guy said he worked from France. He worked France from Alabama last night. I don't know who that is.
Hardly anybody is doing serious 80-meter DXing on sideband. Absolutely true.
Yeah. So, and this guy, which we already talked about him.
I said elite. I said elite flight, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, he's saying Lee's trying to give me some trouble.
He said it. All right.
Maybe Lee doesn't know.
Yeah, I think this is Reddit. It's just we've got to complain about everything we can possibly complain about.
I can say 1337, Lee.
Sometimes Reddit is a lot like 80 meters. Let's see what else. This guy went around, and I've talked about this before on a video.
That's right. I got it right.
Let me share
I am
that
vindicated.
Tab. We don't need to watch your video. So this
guy, he gave it the William Shatner Commodore 64 tap.
What are you talking about?
When he opened the video, he gave it the two taps.
Yeah. So he had noise, and we've talked about this, I think, on here, certainly on other streams or shows or videos. If you've got noise, a nice play to figure this out is to walk around.
Just for you, Lee. I did that just to tweak you, and it worked.
With Boondock, I'm saying Reddit is sometimes it's like QRZ light, kind of.
Yeah, QRZ is much worse. QRZ.com. Oh my God, those people.
The forums specifically, are It's the most wretched hive of scum and villainy you'll ever see.
Yes. Yes.
So he went noise hunting, and he used this little shortwave receiver here to go around and noise hunt, which is cool. And it's a great use for a tiny SA as well, because it's small.
Yes. Yes, you can just unplug it.
So
just open that thing up, drain all the oil out all over your yard, reach in there with your bare hands, and just start pulling wire.
just make sure you wear
With
your orange
sarcasm.
safety vest. Yeah, don't
And
do
have your
that.
ham radio, have your bow fang on your hip.
Have your fang on your hip and your vest on. You'll be fine. Let's see. I don't know. What is the best antenna for a Yaesu FT5?
Oh, just get rid of the Yaesu.
Okay, calm down.
That'll solve that problem. And I even have one of these radios.
I have one. I like the radio. It's a
You
great
almost
radio.
lost it.
I almost lost it, but I recovered it. In spite of people, this is a fine radio. Although I will tell you, and KM4ACK and KM9G will both agree with me heartily, that sending and receiving APRS messages on this is painful.
Yes.
Painful.
This radio's one superpower is also its greatest weakness.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, APRS is great, but man, don't think you're going to be messaging on this. It is just absolutely painful. So I'm, I think HT antennas are what they are. Buy whichever one you want to spend your money on. If you can afford an expensive one, rock on. But I would not go out and spend a lot of money on HT antennas. From what I've played with, they all work about the same. First of all, you've got a handheld radio. You've got at most 5 watts, maybe 10 if you have a fancy bow fang, like I bought it at Hamcation. But you're on a handheld radio. Half of you are holding it like, sideways or something, right? The fire department sideways hold in the car, and they wonder why no one can hear them. Ask me how I know about that, because I had guys doing it. Buy whatever dang antenna you want. T.O. and I have talked about signal sticks before. T.O.'s probably got one he could whip out. They're great. They're damn near indestructible. Buried. They make them for mobile installs. They've got BNC versions. They've got SMA male, SMA female. They probably have RP SMA. It's a fine antenna. Is it the best antenna in the world? No. But I don't know that I would say that Nagoya or Diamond are significantly
So what
better.
he's got to do is take that compromise antenna off of that radio and put a different compromise antenna on it.
You're moving the compromise.
Yeah.
And typically what you'll see with 2 meter and 440 combo antennas, especially HT antennas, is you may have a okay-ish SWR on 2 meters, but if you look at your 440, your 70 centimeter SWR, it's not awesome. 3, 3.5, 4. So they're, like T.O. said, you're moving from one compromise antenna for one other one to another compromise antenna. English hard, me can't talk. And, people will recommend one or the other. It's not like you're going to get a 50-mile away repeater if you buy the Diamond antenna or the Nagoya or whatever. Honestly, in my testing, and I did a video on this, my Abri, that ridiculous 42-inch folding tape measure
Those things
thing,
actually work really good.
is probably the best HT antenna I've ever played with. The thing is 42 freaking inches long, right? You look like a knucklehead walking around with that thing on your hip. Not to mention which it's probably a safety hazard for you and everybody within a 5-foot radius. But it works really well.
I think Elodie just called y'all fat. I'm poking trouble. You are part of the antenna in an HT. You are. So you have to increase your own mass and density in order to make a better antenna for an HT.
Yep. And she's exactly right.
No, Elodie didn't call you anything.
She's exactly right. You are very much a part of it. And it depends on how you're holding it. It depends on what you're standing on. You can hang a wire off of it and look like a complete knucklehead.
Stefana says, everyone have a great day. You
Good
as
morning,
well,
my friend.
Aloysius, has a coffee cup full of antennas. That's the best one.
I got the same thing over there on the other desk, Aloysius. There's
And
HT
then
antennas out the Ying.
Sarah's got her use it or lose it super chat for Jim's channel for today because this is the last live stream on
sure
Jim's
is.
channel for the month. And then
sure
tomorrow will be the last live stream on my channel for the month.
So everybody gets a free super chat today?
Just the members.
Members.
Membership
super
milestone.
Chat.
You have to be a
that's
member
right.
to get it. Membership has its
privileges. That's right. And membership on this channel does not cost a lot. Speaking of membership, that's exactly right, Matt, with the solution there. Membership does not cost a tremendous amount of money. It will make you happy. It will cause your spine to straighten, your hair to grow back in. T.O. does not have hair because he's not a member. It happens. Yeah. And our monthly Zoom call is coming up this Wednesday, which
we've reached our quorum.
I think it's this Wednesday. Good morning, Lori.
Four and change minutes left in the show. We've reached our quorum. Good morning,
right,
Lori. Good morning,
Lori,
Kelly.
Appreciate it. So, and that is not Kelly from Maine. I am 99.999% sure that's not Kelly from Maine. I don't think she usually makes this show.
Yeah, well, this is male Kelly.
Mr. Kelly, not
Mr. Kelly, not Mrs. Kelly or Miss Kelly.
Miss Kelly with a Y-E, because I think that's how she spells her name. Andy Cowley has been a member for 27 months. Thank you, brother Andy. I appreciate it very much.
Service guarantees membership. Would you
right.
like to know more?
That's right.
On the bounce, Mark. On the bounce.
Yep.
I did actually make a land deal.
Zoom is still the same, Jeff. We do a members Zoom every month. I can't remember if it's this Wednesday or next Wednesday, but that will be posted if you're a Patreon member, it'll be posted in the Patreon members community. And if you are a YouTube member, it'll be posted in the YouTube community for the channel. So
apparently a transplant with a 0 call in Missouri.
I mean,
yes,
I've got a 1 call in Alabama, so
I have a 9 call, but I actually got my 9 call in 9 land.
When you were in 9,
and then I moved.
Right. I just couldn't find any 4 calls that I wanted, and there were very few available anyway. T.O., what are we doing tomorrow night on Nuggets? Are we breaking something? Are we pushing some boundaries? What are we doing?
I got a whole new box of digital interfaces, so we're going to play with that. And we're going to do an unboxing because I got a box from China. This was a very weird scenario. I am in my kitchen. I was cooking up some concoction. I found a very interesting way of making pot roast, I guess is the easiest way to call it. Take a can of your favorite, or a jar of your favorite salsa, put that in, put 1 more jar of water in, put about 2 pounds of whatever cheap beef roast you can get, come back 4 hours later, shred it, stir it, eat it. Fantastic.
Nice.
So I was making that, and while I was containerizing it, food prep Saturday, FedEx dropped off a package on a Saturday. And I got the message on my phone when I sat down. It's like, your package has been delivered. I'm like, where? Nobody knocked on my door. I've been here this whole time. And I'm kind of worried that they might have shipped it to the wrong address, or I gave them an address that was in the future of my travels, not here where I am. So I wanted to double check. And then they sent a picture because that's what they do now. And I'm looking at the picture going, that's my front porch. And then I look out the front door. That's the package. What the hell? So there it was.
We get stealth deliveries from Amazon like late at night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first of all, I can't believe that they deliver that late at night. Unless they have a quota or something, they have to meet. We got to get all these delivered today.
They just give them the truck and they have to go do it
to meet shipping targets. But I'm like, I'm just saying, I think that riding around in the country at night, randomly in an unmarked vehicle, walking up to people's porches, probably not a super good idea. I don't know. I have cameras and, but
depending on what city you're in, they drive those Johnny cabs from Rivian.
Okay. I don't know. It's just, I'm like, I can't believe they would have them out delivering that late at night, but whatever.
Yeah.
I want my Amazon packages. I need them.
Well, I get deliveries on Sunday every so often, and I'm like, I didn't need it that fast. Like, take a break.
Listen, Montgomery is not exactly the cutting edge of the delivery business at all. I was thrilled when I could get packages from Amazon in 2 days. Now I get stuff next day sometimes, which is like, I'd have been happy if it showed up a couple of days from now. Tomorrow is great, but whatever. Anyway, I have a video popping out like right about now that I would appreciate if y'all go take a look at if you want. It's on the Toads DI board, and I think it's a pretty cool invention. I'm pretty proud of my buddy Tio for making it. I don't know how much he was actually involved with it, or if it was Hayden with the smart part, but
I was the inventor. I was the visionary. I was the
vision. You
the
vibe
person
coded
who-
it.
No, I just said I want this thing, and I know people who are smart.
Right.
When you
right.
talk about people who have restored classic cars, you think they did every single bit of that restoration by hand, by themselves, including making all of the tools to do it? Or did they
That's
go
what it
get a
shows on
DeWalt and a
TV.
craftsman?
That's what it shows on TV, right? Let's see. I think that is about all the comments and super chats. Jody, our Canadian friend. Really, Jody? Really? I mean, we've already played the invitational, and now the
Gotta be
pastor's
like
at the
8
door
a.m.
shaking hands, son. We're rapping. We're rapping.
Jeff,
What
if
is
you
this?
don't know, that's when you sit in front of an AI computer and ask it to do something and then do what it tells you to do.
Yep.
You're just there for the vibes. It's doing all the work.
We can talk about it in a minute. I mean, I'm out of Diet Dr. Pepper and I need a new Pope, but vibe
You're
coding
encroaching
it
in your own Premiere or whatever.
right. But is exactly what Tio said. You can go to Gemini or ChatGPT and say, write me a program to do this. And you can have it write you a script for PowerShell in Windows, or a batch command file for Windows, or Python, or C or C# or whatever. And you have to just know how to compile it and execute it. And AI will walk you through that and handhold all of that.
You were going to say walk your happy something.
Yes, I was.
Walk
Yes,
your happy through coding that. Yeah.
Right. There are some tools available. Visual Studio Code, which is a free product from Microsoft. There is some open source ones. They don't have all the good integration like VS Code does. And I use VS Code, and it has AI hooks built in it. I tell it I need to build a program that does this and this and this. It generates the code. It installs all the includes and all the dependencies that I need
Cheers,
for that
Jody.
particular program. And if it doesn't work, I say, it didn't do this. It said, oh yeah, I screwed that up. Let me fix that. That's vibe coding. And it helps if you actually know how to at least read computer programming code a lot. I mean,
It'll give you as little as it can, and then if you ask for more, it'll start to be much more annoying with more information.
Yep. But it's a great way to do it. I've got an app that I'm working on right now. Tio has released
Tons.
0.1 of my app that I whipped up in a couple days, from concept to, hey, this actually works. I don't know how useful it's going to be to everybody. It's kind of a targeted use case,
That'd be awesome, Mike.
Yeah, load AI 8.1. Commodore
64K AI.
Commodore nerd. So it's fun. I enjoy doing it too. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's
I'm going to
cool.
hit the button. Thanks y'all for being here. Have a great week. We'll see you all tomorrow night on Nuggets.